Hi and welcome everyone to another segment of Gaming with Jason. Today we're going to talk about 3 different military doctrines in Conflict of Nations, World War III, and how they affect your strategy, which is why you see the background that you see, because there's going to be some visuals that are going to come along with it to help you understand just a little bit more. Military doctrine is a set of fundamental principles that guide a country in achieving its military objectives. These doctrines include military tactics and strategies built right into them. Therefore, some players can play certain countries and other players can't. This is because of the embedded strategy within the doctrine. There are 3 military doctrines in Conflict of Nations. Each of these 3 doctrines have individual strengths and weaknesses, and we're going to talk about it in just a second though. One thing I would like to say in advance is that as a player, your personality type is going to decide which doctrine suits you best. Because I'm an aggressive player, the American doctrine works best for me. Let me know down in the comments which doctrine fits your playstyle best. Your 3 doctrines to choose from are: first, the American. This is more of an offensive-based doctrine designed to keep enemy at arm's distance while destroying them and preserving units. Some things that aren't listed in this article is that the American doctrine has stronger fighter planes than everyone else. The American doctrine favors early research of armored fighting vehicles, also known as Bradleys, theater defense systems, which is good against nukes, and attack helicopters, which are good against armor-preserving advancing units from heavy combat. The one major weakness of the attack helicopter is air superiority, which is why the American doctrine hits a home run every time in air dominance, because you also have to protect your AWACS, which is my favorite part of the AWACS, is that when used properly you can do precision strikes on your enemy while letting your troops roam free. If you wanted to, you could focus more of your research on superiority fighters and helicopters over infantry and armor. But at least make sure that before you do all that you've upgraded your infantry to a level 4 so that you can avoid heavy casualties. The second one is the Eastern Doctrine, which is more of a defense-focused strategy and favors early research of the main battle tank, mobile SAM, and gunship helicopters. Gunship helicopters are good against infantry, even better than strikers. In the Eastern Doctrine, you will get an advantage in infantry, such as motorized and airborne, tanks, which is what Russia is known for, and anti-air capabilities. If you're playing this doctrine, offense should be secondary and defense primary. Every coalition needs a guy to watch the house while we hunt. The third doctrine is European, which focuses more on speed and smaller armor units such as mechanized infantry, tank destroyers, and strike fighters, which are available earlier for European doctrine. When thinking about the European doctrine, consider the region and terrain for this continent. Everything is close together, so being able to attack your enemy preemptively with strikers while your fast tanks and infantry stroll into town is imperative. The land unit speed helps reduce the overall building damage to critical infrastructure such as air bases and hospitals. Think of the European doctrine as a counter-strike to the American doctrine in a defensive capacity, or a flank in the offensive capacity, allowing you to sandwich the enemy between opposing forces. I think the one major thing that I'm able to take away from this is that these 3 doctrines are way more lethal when done in a coordinated and strategic way. Think of it like this: if you had a coalition of 3 members and you had one of each, this is how I would want to manage it effectively. I would put the Eastern Doctrine in charge of defending the homeland and captured territories, with one division claiming territory as spoils of war for defending. The American Doctrine would have to be an aggressive player like me and be able to coordinate with the European leader for flanking and dividing up territory. I think this would require a lot of teamwork. I also think that attacking one country at a time and letting your Eastern player clean up after you would be far more fair when dividing up the spoils of war. Make sure you give them at least 1 or 2 cities, because each doctrine needs specific resources which have specific cost. Eastern doctrine can build its most effective units cheaply, followed by the European and American. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I hope that you understand military doctrine much better now and how it affects your gameplay. If you found this valuable, just hit the like button, and if you're feeling really generous, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for joining me.